So we're setting up a small run production job today. We have 4 parts with 4 different work coordinate offsets. Now what we'd like to do is run this quick, and so to do that, that means we need to figure out how to consolidate our tool changes and also remove some rapid emotions that happen in between individual setups. So how do we go about doing that? So this is the part you were just looking at in our mill. We're going to run 4 of these, and we want to group our tool changes, and we want to limit the amount of time we spend rapiding from one setup to the next. And so that's all going to start inside of our setup. And we're interested in how this is going to be post-processed. But then down here, we get an opportunity. It says the work coordinate offset. So if we're just running 1, we can put it at G54, which would be 1. Right? G55 would be 2. But we're going to run this one at G54. Below that, it says multiple work coordinate offsets. So we're running 4. Now we can click this operation here, this option, and then it says how many instances. That's the first thing we see. Well, we have 4 parts in the machine right now. And then it says an offset increment. Well, that offset increment would be, do you want to go from G54 to G55, 56, 57, an increment of 1, or would you want to do an increment of 2? You go from G54 to G56 to G58. But let's take a look at this. This is the next option, operation order. All right, so how are you going to order your tools or your operations? The first one it's set at is preserve order. Now, that means it's going to preserve the order of the setup. He's going to run an entire part in G54, change all the tools and everything, and then he's going to go to G55 and run that part. You click OK on that. Notice it takes 4 minutes to run this, all 4 parts. Each part takes about a minute if we remember, so there's no time savings there. So we double click this option again, and now we want to change it to order by tool. So that means he's going to pull out tool number 1. He's going to hit all 4 setups, then do 1 tool change. So he never turns the spindle on or off or changes or receives a, goes to get another tool. So you save a lot of time that way. Notice we're running all 4 parts with our tools organized this way, and it's only taking 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's basically getting 1.5 parts for free. So while we're saving a lot of time, this causes Fusion to make kind of a safety maneuver with the Z-axis. How do we go about fixing that? Okay, so what are we talking about? What kind of problem is caused by running it by the tool? Well, notice right here, he's going to finish this part, then he's going to wrap it all the way up and move over to the next part. Now, why did he do that? Well, that's because it's a safety mechanism built into Fusion360. So in other words, if you had one part here and another part here, it can't just translate directly over because it doesn't know where those clearance planes are yet. It doesn't know that until it gets into that work coordinate offset location. And so for safety, what it does is just sends the Z all the way up, and then it sends him all the way back down to your part. Now, so now we're ready to post-process and solve this problem of the Z safety maneuver. Not necessarily that it's a problem. It could be saving your bacon, but we're going to try to streamline this program. So we're just going to highlight our setup, go to post-process. So here's our code. We posted that out, right? Now we can see we start off with tool 20, which is our probe. He's going to probe all 4 parts at G54, G55, G56, G57. And then at the end of G57, notice we're going to get a tool change. And that's pretty important for us to remember. So where he's doing the jumping is this last code that's in this operation. Right, G53, go home. Maybe you're looking at a G28, and then he gets a G0, which means go as fast as you can, rapid, right, to Z0 or Z home. So I want to get rid of that line of code. Now, above that, we want to make sure that he's going to clear and go to the next part. We don't want to just delete that line out of the entire code. That'd be a catastrophe. So we're going to look back up and make sure, yeah, we get a rapid to Z 1.2. Now that's pretty good, 1.25 inches basically above that part. So we're going to leave that there. We're going to do the next one here and say, yep, we don't need that because we got this safety plane right here. He's clear. And then this one. Now look, we get to this last one. Do I really need to delete this? Well, he's at that Z safe plane there, 1.2 above the part. And then he gets an M5, turn off the spindle. He never turned it on. I hope not. It's a probe. And then here we're at this, we get this other go home. But that's fine because the following code is going to be a tool change. So if he was already there, ready for the tool change, it's not going to hurt my feelings, right? But I do need to do this for the rest of the code. I'm going to take him, I'm going to copy him, and then I'm going to say I need to find the next ones, right? So next. Well, this one does need to be replaced. He's at the end of tool 1 for G54. So I'm going to remove this, but I'm also going to increase 0.39. To me, that's a little close. I don't know, it could be my OCD. Click, I'm going to put a 0.5 in there. Now I'm going to go and search for the next one. See, this is G55 next. Now I'm going to do that for this next one here. And then I'm going to do that for the next one here. Now keep in mind, this next one, that's G57, that's our last one. So now when we see that one, we're going to see a tool change after that. So we can leave this one in if we want, and then we got a tool change there. I always have little markers or things that I can see so I know exactly what I'm doing and the impact it's going to have on the code. And now we'll do the same thing for this one. And then when we get down to the very bottom of the code here, we want to make sure that this one stays, right? This last one stays. Otherwise, he's going to come up and he's going to shoot that table, forward and never take that tool home. And also we want to make sure that this first one also stays because that's our safe start. Now we want to make sure that before that machine, right when you hit cycle start, that tool goes up to home if it's not already there. So that's fantastic, right? Being able to organize our tools within a setup. But what happens if we introduce yet another setup? And so I have one that's in a vise like this, and I got a little desperate and I had to put one over here in a vise that's sideways. Maybe my machine's a little funny, or I got a different piece of stock or something. Right, so now how do I organize the tools between both of these operations? Well, when I highlight them, here's an option that sometimes is difficult to see. Now, if I'm going to post-process both of these setups, before I just go ahead and say post it out, I look up here and I see something that says operations. Now, this gives you some pretty cool options here. One, you can see everything that you're post-processing, both Dovetail 1 and Dovetail 2. And then it shows you, like the Dovetail 1, it starts off with a probe, all 4 probes. Dovetail 2 also starts off with a probing operation. So I pan down and here it is in the sequence of events. But if I click this option right here, reorder to minimize tool changes, click, now it takes both of these operations. It takes and probes all of Dovetail 1 and then all of Dovetail 2, does the same thing with tool 1, uses tool 1 for all these different operations. Then here you can see jumps onto tool 2, groups all of tool 2, and it groups all of tool 3. And so when I go back and hit post process, I've organized my tools or minimized my tool changes for multiple operations. Hey, look, you made it to the end of this video. Maybe you scrubbed a little bit and that's okay. We scrubbed too, But hopefully watching this video is going to help you reduce your cycle times in the future. Now, if there's something you'd like to see on this channel, please comment and let us know below. We love making these videos. The next one's going to be a little different than what we usually do. It's going to be interesting, and it could be good, it could be decent, it could be awesome, it could be horrible. So make sure you subscribe so you can see what happens when we attempt to do something we usually don't do. But until then, we'll just catch you next time.